be sure to
From the campus of Wells College in Aurora, New York, it's Wells College Baseball on AMCC-TV as the Express host the Wildcats of SUNY Polytechnic Institute in an out-of-conference battle. I'm Eli Fishman alongside with you for the action. The Express come into this one at 3-1 on the season. They took the opening game of the year last Tuesday against Clark Summit here at home, and then hit the road and head to Washington, D.C. this past weekend, where they beat SUNY Canton in a doubleheader on Saturday and lost in a single game in the neutral site format to Elmira on Friday. And they are back at home to start off a 3-game set against the Wildcats, who are playing in their first game of the season. Wildcats were 13-24 last season and 5-5 in North Atlantic Conference play. Xander Johnson toes the slab for the Express, the left-hander, and this is the lineup he will face for the Wildcats. Parker Wing leads it off. He's the shortstop. Ryan Pelton, the sophomore after a big year last season, mans the hot corner and hits second. Carter Romansky, the grad student, at first base. Ethan Walker is the designated hitter doing the cleanup. Paul Barber in right field hitting fifth. Ethan Marone hitting sixth in left field. Anthony Ventier is the catcher hitting seventh. Kurt Johnson in center field hitting eighth. And Derek Menachino is the second baseman who rounds out the order with Jack Montaigne, reigning all-conference pitcher, on the mound for the Wildcats as Xander Johnson grabs some dirt, toes the rubber, and we are set to go from Aurora. Johnson, the southpaw, deals the first pitch to Parker Wing, the grad transfer. It's a fastball outside. Wing has played at Cazenovia the last 2 seasons after 1 year at Onondaga Community College, as head coach Ryan Stevens and the home plate umpire heading out to the mound, as well as Izquierdo, to talk something over with Johnson. No changes, as it's a 1-0 count out after the outside fastball, as Johnson kicks and fires the 1-0 pitch. It's a fastball just upstairs for a ball on Wing, who hit .297 at Cazenovia as a senior last year. 3 seasons at Caz, following 1 at Onondaga Community College, as the 2-0 breaking ball inside, and 3-0. Johnson threw a gem in his first game of the season, which came in the season opener for the Express last Tuesday. It's the 3-0 pitch. Fastball right down the pipe for a called strike. Johnson with 5 2/3 innings of work, 2 earned runs, 3 hits, 4 punch-outs. As the 3-1 fastball upstairs and a leadoff walk to Parker Wing. First batter of the season for SUNY Poly gets on base. And good speed for Wing off of first, as well as Ryan Pelton, the sophomore third baseman, digs in from the right side.
now batting for the Wildcats.
Johnson was perfect through 3 innings in the opening day nod against Clark Summit. Didn't pitch this past weekend over the 3 games against 2 versus Canton, 1 versus Elmira. Fastball outside to Pelton, who had an .818 OPS last year with 4 homers as a freshman for the Wildcats. Johnson comes set, takes a look over at first, and comes home the 1-0. Off speed, right down there for a called strike. Evens it up at 1. First strike thrown in the day by Johnson from Homer, New York, the sophomore. Peers over to first base in Wing. After the long pause, comes home with the 1-1. Off speed just upstairs. Makes it 2-1 now. Johnson started a good amount of midweek battles. 4 starts, 9 total appearances last season. Pickoff attempt over at first. Back with a dive is Wing with plenty of time. Johnson with 27.2 innings of work, 30 strikeouts, and 25 earned runs last year. As the 2-1. Fastball up and out. now 3-1. And looking to battle back as the skies have cleared after delay of about 30 minutes, getting underway in game 1 of 2. 2 7-inning games in this doubleheader between the Wildcats and the Express. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Fouled off down the right field line. Giving it a look is the first baseman, Young. But that will be out of play, just bouncing on top of the Wells dugout down the first base side. Here's how the Express look in the field. Left to right in the outfield. Lance Phillips, Zach Odom, and John Valinotti on the infield. It's James Legaretta, Odom, and Young left to right. Doing the catching is Aaron Izquierdo, the senior, holding it down. Is after the foul ball now with 3-2 count on Pelton. Payoff pitch from Johnson. Fastball up and out. And back-to-back walks allowed by Xander Johnson to start off this game. And Wells head coach Ryan Stevens is going to take the trot out to the mound to talk things over with Izquierdo and Xander Johnson. The third baseman, Jacoby James, gets in on the convo as well. And a dangerous hitter coming to the plate in Carter Romanski, who we're probably going to see on the mound at some point this weekend as well for SUNY Poli. He was virtually their ace last year, in addition to hitting .372. As the lefty Romanski digs in. He was all-region second team last year as well for the Wildcats, coming back for his grad year this season. In the lefty-lefty matchup, Johnson comes set. Peers over at second, now first. Comes home with the first pitch, and it's a high fly ball left side of the infield, drifting foul, and it is foul over the Wildcats' dugout on the third base side. And it goes 0-1. First pitch strike, now through 3 batters for Johnson. Peers over at second with runners on first and second. The 0-1. Breaking ball off the helmet of Romanski. Curveball slipped out of the hand. Runs inside. Bounces off the plastic helmet of Romanski, and the bases are juiced.
Number 19, Ethan Walker.
For Ethan Walker, the designated hitter. 3 free 90s to start off this game. In the walks to Wing and Pelton, and the hit by pitch by Romanski. And Poly with a premier opportunity to get on the scoreboard early. Here's the first pitch to Walker. Fastball nips the outside corner for a called strike. Walker was limited to 10 games in his sophomore campaign last year with the Wildcats. Hit .267 in his time on the field for Poly. As the 0-1 offering from Johnson. Breaking ball looped into right field and foul. Hooking with the wind blowing left to right, looking at the outfield. Blowing towards the right field foul pole. Helps to knock that ball out of play. It's 0-2. Mike Nascimento got the Friday start last time for the Express. We'll see what the rest of the weekend looks like for Wells. As it was Smith, Haynes, and Johnson last weekend. As called strike 3 on the outside corner. Gets the first out in a big way. Drops the breaking ball on the outside corner. And Walker goes down looking. 1 out. Here in the top of the first. With Paul Barber stepping in. Senior right fielder in from the right side for the Wildcats. As Johnson's first pitch upstairs. It was Nascimento, Smith, and Haynes that started 3 games last weekend for the Express. Johnson is the sole other who started a game this season, getting the midweek nod against Clark Summit on opening day, as we mentioned. As the 1-0 pitch, Barber swings and misses at the breaking ball in the dirt, gets caught fishing. Count goes 1-1. Barber hit .302 last season for Poly with 26 RBIs, pair of homers as well. 1-1, swing and a miss Fastball on the outside part of the zone. Looking for 2 straight punch-outs after 3 straight free 90s to start off this game is Johnson. With the bases loaded, 1 out, and a 1-2 count. Johnson comes set, comes home. Fastball swung on and missed on the outside part of the plate. 2 big strikeouts back-to-back of Walker and Barber, and Johnson is 1 out away from getting out of it after some early game traffic on the base paths for Polytechnic. And Ethan Marone, the sophomore, left fielder, digs in. 2 outs, bases still juiced. And the first pitch, swing and a miss on the fastball, outside corner. 0-1. Marone hit .367 on the offensive side last year. In a big freshman year on a very young Poly roster. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball swung on and missed, strike 2. 1 strike away now, Johnson. After some command struggles to start off this game, he is 1 pitch away from getting out of a bases loaded, no out jam. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball looped into shallow left field. Coming in is the center fielder Odom and the left fielder Phillips. That'll split them and roll all the way to the wall. 1 run in, 2 runs, third getting the wave. That's Romanski. Cutoff is in time. Beautiful relay. Looked like Legaretta in shallow left field that cut that ball off through a dot home to get the runner. But 2 runs come across to score on the 2-run double by Ethan Marone. 1 runner stranded almost, or 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning was Johnson. It'll be 2-0, Poly on top as we head to the bottom of the first, and we will keep it right here.
Heading into the bottom of the first, the score
it was Wing and Pelton that scored, and so a 2-0 lead for the Wildcats. Jack Montaigne will be on the mound for the Wildcats, coming off a spectacular season last year is Montaigne, where he was 5-3 with a 4.69 ERA in 40.1 innings. And this is the Express lineup that he will face. Leading it off is Max Odom at second base. Zach Odom hits second at center field. The Twins back-to-back in the lineup. Jacoby James hits third at third base. Aaron Izquierdo is the catcher doing the cleanup. Lance Phillips is the left fielder hitting fifth. Zach Legaretta, the shortstop, hitting sixth. And the 7th spot, it's Zach Young at first base. John Valinotti in the 8th spot in right field. And rounding out the order in his first offensive start is Cam Heyman. He's the designated hitter. Xander Johnson, as we saw on the mound for the Express in the top of the frame. As Montaigne gets the opening day nod for Poly. A Wells team that is dominated on offense on the offensive side early on this season, hitting .321 as a team. And the Express have scored 33 runs in 4 games so far. Looking to keep the offense strong in their second home game of the season. Wildcats with a strong start in the first, able to knock 2 home. But the Express looking to get some right back.
Cindy, do you have their line?
Yep, she's doing it.
Let me know if you need a card.
Cindy! Or do you want
So Max Odom will dig in from the right side for the Express to start off the bottom of the first. 2-0 Poly on top after the 2-run double by Ethan Marone. Ended the inning as Romanski was thrown out, trying to make it a bases-clearing double. As Odom in from the right side against the right-hander Montaigne, who was All-Northeast Conference last year. First pitch to Odom, called strike on the outside corner with the fastball. Odom off to a strong start on the year, hitting .286 with 8 runs scored through 4 games for the Express. Montaigne comes set, comes home. Slider swung on and missed by Odom, quickly 0-2. Montaigne with an ERA just over 4 last season for the Wildcats as he comes home with the 0-2. Fastball swung on and missed at the top of the zone. Odom goes down swinging. And 3 pitches, 3 strikes, 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Montaigne dominating with the fastball and the slider in the first at-bat. Took 2 fastballs and 1 swing and a miss on a slider by Odom to send him back to the dugout. And now his twin brother, Zach, both from Elmira, will dig in. Zach in center field today for the Express. 10 RBIs on the early season as he takes a breaking ball first pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. Eight for 16 on the young season with those 10 RBIs as he swings and misses on top of the fastball and makes it 0-2. 5 straight strikes to start off this ball game for Jack Montaigne. He comes set. Kicks and fires, 0-2, breaking ball inside. Odom had to spin out of the way to get away from the breaking ball that slipped out of Montaigne's hand. Took 6 pitches before we saw the first ball from Montaigne. And with 1 out, the 1-2 to Odom. Chops the ball up the middle of the infield. Ranging to his left is the shortstop Wing, who throws across the diamond just in time for out number 2. Here's how the defense looks for Pauley. It's Marone, Johnson, and Barber left to right in the outfield. On the infield, left to right, Pelton at third, Wing at short, Menachino at second, Banks, Romansky at first, and Ventier doing the catching of Montaigne. As Jacoby James digs in from the right side for the Express. First pitch he sees is a fastball low and away. That goes all the way to the backstop, skipping away from Ventier. Odom, the reigning player of the week in the AMCC conference after last week. He went 9 for 17 with 7 RBI, including a huge 3 for 4 performance in the first game of the season against Clark Summit as he takes a 1-0 breaking ball in the low outside corner for a called strike to even it up at 1. Montaigne peers in. Gives the nod to Ventier, the freshman backstop. And the 1-1. Chopped to the left side of the infield. Trickling over the third base bag and foul. As Pelton scoops it up. And it'll be 1-2 now. Just a couple hops to the left of the third base bag. A new backstop this season for Pauley after they graduated their catcher for the last 4 years. And Alex Bonacci, who had a huge game against Wells last year. Fastball outside, evens it up at 2. This is the 13th all-time meeting between the Express and the Wildcats, with the series even at 6-6. Wells swept a 2-game set in Aurora last year. They've played all but 1 year in the history of the Wells baseball program's existence as the breaking ball outside makes it 3-2. James working a strong at bat here. Spitting on a few outside breaking balls. Curveball's been the pitch early on from Montaigne. Who peers home and comes home with the payoff pitch. It's blooped. Foul on the right side of the backstop. Stays 3-2. Went with the curveball again, 3-2. Obvious confidence in that pitch early for Montaigne. Setting up Ventier on the outside part of the plate as the payoff pitch again. Curveball is looped into deep left field. Going back on the warning track is Marone. And that ball's gone. Over the left field wall. Bye-bye baseball. Jacoby James first of the season for James after a red-hot week at the plate, and the Express get one back. 2-1 in the bottom of the first. On the first home run in the young career of Jacoby James, the reigning player of the week in the AMCC, with the solo blast, 2 outs, got a 3-2 breaking ball over the inside corner, and got enough barrel on it to send it over the left field wall just to the right of the foul pole. As that brings up Izquierdo. First pitch he sees is a fastball upstairs. Izquierdo hit the first home run of the season for the Express. James now has the second as another breaking ball outside. Izquierdo with the solo homer in the loss versus Elmira last Friday. As Montaigne comes home with the 2-0 offering. Fastball just inside. And below the kneecaps for that matter to make it 3-0. After a strong start, was one pitch away from getting out of the inning. And then James sat back on the breaking ball on the payoff pitch curveball for the solo homer. Fastball called strike at the top of the zone makes it 3-1 on Izquierdo. He's 6 for 15 to start off the year at the plate. 400 average through 4 games for the Wells backstop. Takes a fastball inside for ball 4. And all coming with 2 outs. The solo homer and now the walk to Izquierdo to bring up Lance Phillips. Phillips playing in 3 games this season. Getting the start in left field today. He's 4 for 12 with a pair of doubles. And the first pitch Phillips sees is a fastball low and away in the lefty batter's box that Ventier keeps in front of him. Solid speed on the base paths for Izquierdo. He's got 3 stolen bases this year. In 4 games, he's been thrown out once. As Montaigne peers over first, comes home with the 1-0 breaking ball, called strike on the bottom outside corner to make it 1-1. With Izquierdo dancing off of first. Montaigne gives him a look, comes set, and comes home with the 1-1. And that one's roped foul down the right field line out of play to make it 1-2. And yet again, 1 strike away from getting out of a jam. And limiting the damage is Jack Montaigne. Relied on the curveball early. We saw what happened on the 3-2. 2 batters to go to James. As the 1-2 offering goes with the fastball. And that one's driven into deep right center field. Ranging over and making the catch in left center is Johnson to end the inning. 1 run comes across for the Express on the solo homer from Jacoby James. 2-1. Poli leads as we head to the second. 2-1, Poli leads back at the top of the second on the AMCC network. Poli getting 2 across in the first on the Ethan Marone 2-run double. Wells gets 1 back on the solo homer by Jacoby James as Xander Johnson back out on the mound facing 6, 7, 8. Anthony Ventier leads it off, takes the first pitch, fastball on the inside corner for a called strike. Johnson had some command struggles early on in the first, giving up 3 free 90s to start off this game on a pair of walks and a hit bat spin as the 0-1 breaking ball just outside at the bottom of the zone as well to make it 1-1. Allowed 3 free passes, struck out 2, and then the RBI double by Ethan Marone ended the inning as Romanski was thrown out trying to make it a bases clearing double. Check swing at the top of the zone did not go around to make it 1-2 on Ventier. The freshman backs up, and his first collegiate at-bat rolls that one down the right side and foul off the facing of the Express dugout down the first base line. And it stays at 1-2. Ventier from Farmingdale, New York. One of 3 freshmen in the starting lineup for the Wildcats as he takes a fastball upstairs to even it up. Bottom 3 in the order in Ventier, Johnson, and Menachino. All freshmen for a very young Wildcats team. And it's the 2-2 pitch from Johnson. Breaking ball inside. That was ball 4. And for back-to-back innings to start off this game, Johnson has allowed a walk to the first batter of the game. Brings up Kirk Johnson, the freshman center fielder from Lake Ronkonkoma, New York. And from the right-handed batter's box. Johnson peers over to first. Speed off the bases, showing bunt, dropping one down through the right side of the infield. It's going to be the first baseman Young who picks it up, throws to first just in time with Odom covering. But the job is done. Kurt Johnson with a sacrifice bunt to move Ventier over to second base and a runner in scoring position with 1 out in the 9-hitter in Menachino coming to the plate.
Now for the Wildcats.
Menachino in from the right side. The freshman second baseman for Poli. Johnson peeks over at second base. Wide lead. Now a fastball up and out to make it 1-0. Ventier with a big lead over at second base. Nobody covering him as now the second baseman Odom in and out. Long look. Now Johnson comes home with the 1-0 fastball again, up and out to make it 2-0. Some command struggles early on for Johnson. Came back to bite him in the first after the leadoff walk to Ventier, looking to not do the same here in the second. Peeks over, takes a step off the mound. Diving back with plenty of time is Menachino. Ventier, nobody even covering for the Express. As the 2-0 from Johnson. Fastball just up and out. Doesn't get the call in the corner. It's 3-0. And you do not want 2 runners on for the top of the order with Wing, Pelton, Romanski. And we've seen the damage they've done. 3-0 fastball gets the called strike on the outside corner to extend the AB. Now Johnson sets, peers over to second base, and comes home with the 3-1. Breaking ball inside for ball 4. 2 walks over the first 3 batters in the second inning. It's the 4th free pass allowed by Johnson. Izquierdo will take the walk out to the mound to meet with his sophomore arm. And after a quick meeting, walks his way back behind home plate. As Johnson in a big jam here Vantier off of second. Menachino off of first. And the top of the order in Parker Wing, the grad transfer and the shortstop. In from the right side. Walked on four pitches his first time to the plate. First pitch to Wing, fastball just outside. And no bite from the Casanova transfer, who hit .297 in his senior year. The 1-0. Fouled off. Got a piece of it off the backstop on the right side behind home plate. Makes it 1-1. Johnson with already a pitch count over 35. With one out, runners on first and second. The 1-1 offering. Breaking ball called strike, gets the inside corner. And it's 1-2. Walk, sack bunt, and another walk. As the 1-2 again, a fastball swung on and missed by Wing. Over top of the pitch. And that's strike three. Second out comes on the third strikeout of the day for Johnson. And brings up Ryan Pelton. Walked in, scored his first time to the plate an inning ago. First pitch, breaking ball, big swing and a miss. Catches Pelton off balance on the curveball. Makes it 0-1. Looking to get out of another jam unscathed. 0-1, blooped behind home plate and foul. And now he's one pitch away. Johnson comes set. Takes a look over with the runner off second base. And comes home with the 0-2. Breaking ball inside his rope foul down the left field line. With the runners off on the pitch, looking for an early start. Pelton chased on the inside breaking ball and was ahead of the pitch. As this will be Johnson's 40th pitch of the afternoon coming up shortly. With two outs, runners off first and second. With Izquierdo set up outside, the 0-2. Fastball just outside. Makes it 1-2. Virtually a perfect spot there for Izquierdo set up on the outside part of the zone. Was looking for the call, doesn't get it. Here's the 1-2 offering. Breaking ball swung on and missed for strike three. Getting out of the jam yet again, Xander Johnson on back-to-back two-out strikeouts of Wing and Pelton. He's now got 4 punch-outs on the day. Nothing across with 2 runners stranded for the Wildcats. 2-1, SUNY Pauli on top as we head to the bottom of the second. 6-7-8 2 up for the Express. Back at the bottom of the second inning, 2-1. SUNY Poly on top after Xander Johnson getting out of a jam with back-to-back strikeouts in the top of the frame. Legarreta digs in, takes the first pitch, called strike on the outside corner out of the hand of Jack Montaigne in the righty-righty matchup. Legarreta hitless on this season in 4 starts at shortstop after he was the Offensive Player of the Year last year for the Express. 0-1 fastball inside, brushes off the back of the jersey, and a hit batsman puts a runner on base with no outs. Legarreta gets on base as much as he can. Already scoring a couple runs in the season on 4 walks. Add a hit by pitch to that, and Zach Young, the righty first baseman, comes to the plate for the first time in the ball game. Young, the sophomore, as a pickoff attempt over at first. Legarreta back with a dive. Legarreta with good speed on the bases. He's got 2 stolen bases in 2 attempts this season. He's only reached base 4 times. So a high success rate and high steal rate, as a fastball on the outside corner makes it 0-1 to Young, with Legarreta dancing off the first base bag. Montaigne with the only blemish on his record being the solo homer to Jacoby James last inning, which put Wells on the board. Another pickoff attempt back over at first, and back with a dive is Legarreta. Garnering the attention of Montaigne, who peers over yet again as he comes set. Now comes home with a fastball, called strike on the low outside corner, and it's 0-2 on Young. Montaigne now head 0-2 in the count with a runner on first. Peers over at first, and the pickoff attempt yet again. But back easily is Legarreta. Here's Montaigne's 0-2. Gets a piece on the breaking ball, fouls it off to the backstop behind home plate to stay alive. Two teams in the Express and the Wildcats that had relatively similar years numbers-wise last year. As the 0-2, breaking ball low and away, blocked by Ventier to keep it in front of him and keep Legarreta at first base. Makes it 1-2. 11-27 were the Express, 13-24 were the Wildcats, with similar numbers in conference play as well. Another pickoff attempt, and back easily is Legarreta over at first. SUNY Poly out of the North Atlantic Conference. Wells in the United East last season, now making the transition to the Allegheny Mountain Conference this year. It'll be their first year in a new conference, and they'll face a whole lot of new opponents. Penn State Behrend, Altoona, Hilbert, Bradford, as well as Alfred State, as the 1-2 is chopped down the third base line and just foul. Thought he had a swinging bunt out of it and a potential single on the infield, but instead it'll stay 1-2. LaRoche will play Wells as well. It'll be the first time for the Express seeing a whole lot of these teams after years of facing some of the best teams in the nation in Penn State, Harrisburg. Over the past few years in the United East Conference is a fastball outside. Back pick attempt at first base. Legarreta with a dive and slides back safely. Back pick attempt by Ventier after Legarreta was jumping off the base. Found the breaking ball low and outside. And it's even at 2. In a lengthy at-bat, much of that due to the amount of attention that has been paid to Zach Legarreta over at first. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball fouled off behind home plate. Young saw it coming, sat back on it, and out in front of the pitch, but was able to get a piece on it to stay alive. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball, got a piece on it again. Off the umpire that time, but stays alive at 2-2, and it's been, as I said, a very lengthy at-bat, thanks to Young fouling off a few tough pitches. And looking to win the battle. The 2-2. Fastball driven out into shallow right field and foul. Hooking over the Wells dugout. That was the 10th pitch of the at-bat. And only 2-2. The battle continues. Another pickoff attempt, though, back at first, and it's going to get away from the first baseman, Romansky. Roll all the way down the line. Wide turnaround second for Legarreta. He's on his way to third, slides in safely ahead of the throw. And we talked about there was a good reason for Jack Montaigne to pay as much attention to Legarreta as he was. And we see it on display there. The speed of Legarreta goes first to third on the ball that trickled away down the first base line. And the tying run 90 feet away. And an at-bat that is spanned about 4 minutes. Montaigne comes set. Peeks over to Legarreta at third. Comes home 2-2. Another foul ball roped off the facing of the Wells dugout on the first base side. 11 pitches in, and Zach Young is still alive. Montaigne had an easy first inning of work, but he's now up over 25 total pitches. Had less than 10 pitches thrown in the first. There's the 2-2 again. Breaking ball swung on and missed in the dirt. Applying the tag is Ventier. Didn't apply it, so now will throw down to finish off the play. But the long battle, 12 pitches, and to the strikeout swinging of Young, who chased on the breaking ball low and away. Second strikeout of the day for Montaigne, and John Valinotti will dig in from the right side. With one out, and the tying run 90 feet away. As the sun's starting to come out over Aurora. 2-2, breaking ball in the dirt, blocked by Ventier. To make it 1-0. Valinotti has played in 3 games this season for the Expressies. 4 for 9 with a pair of RBIs over that span. Had a strong first game of the season against Clark Summit on the offensive side. As the 1-0 fastball outside, corner called strike, and it's even at 1. With Legarreta dancing off of third, the 9-hitter and Cam Heyman awaiting on deck. Here's the 1-1. Fastball just low for a ball. To make it 2-1. Only one hit for the Express so far in this game, which came in the form of the solo homer for Jacoby James. With 2 outs in the first. As the 2-1, big swing and a miss on the fastball at the top of the zone for a strike 2. Count even at 2. Valinotti. The 2-2 pitch with 1 out and a runner 90 feet away. And ball 3, fastball low. At bat continues, and the pitch count for Montaigne here in the second inning continues to be skyrocketed. He comes set. Comes home with the payoff pitch. Breaking ball low and away. Ball 4. The hit batsman was Legarreta to start off the inning, then a strikeout, and now a walk. Second walk allowed by Montaigne on the day. And Cam Heyman will step up to the plate, getting his first start on the offensive side for the Express. He's a two-way guy, also the closer of this Wells team. Got one at-bat off the bench in the Clark Summit game and grounded out. Takes the first pitch, fastball on the inside corner for a called strike with runners on the corners. Heyman, a transfer from Washington and Jefferson College in Pittsburgh. In his junior season, was solely a pitcher for Washington and Jefferson, as the 0-1 swings and misses through the breaking ball, makes it 0-2. With runners on the corners and one out, runner going towards second base is Valinotti. Got the eyes of Montaigne, who peers over to second, will let Valinotti take the base, throws over to third, and Legarreta back with a dive. So now two runners in scoring position for the Express, and that breaks up the double play to extend the importance of this at-bat. 0-2 count on Heyman as Stevens looking to throw off the rhythm of Montaigne. Here's the 0-2. Fastball fouled off. Got a piece of it off the backstop. To stay 0-2. Montaigne comes set. With the pause, the deep breath, the 0-2. Off speed outside. And no chase from Heyman. Heyman's been strong on the mound this season. Had a perfect ninth inning with a couple of strikeouts in his debut versus Clark Summit. Had a 6-out save versus Canton. Only one run on Saturday is the 1-2. Skied on the left side of the infield and foul. Over the Poli dugout and out of play. And a couple of strong at-bats being put up consecutively here by young Valinotti, now Heyman. Montaigne settles, rocks, fires, 1-2, breaking ball in the dirt. Legarreta takes off for home. Throw is not in time. And the wild pitch ties this ball game up 2-2. Legarreta utilizing the speed to his advantage. Went first to third on the air. And now takes home on the wild pitch. Manufacturing a run completely himself after he was hit by a pitch. Valinotti moves up to third base. And still a 2-2 count on Heyman, who's got the chance to put the Express on top. 2-2. Swing and a miss on the fastball for strike three. The third strikeout of the day for Jack Montaigne. And brings us to the top of the order and the always dangerous Max Odom. Now with Valinotti 90 feet away. First pitch. Breaking ball just outside. Odom struck out on 3 pitches against Montaigne his first time to the plate. Coming in the first inning. As the 1-0. Fastball low for a ball. And it's 2-0. 2 walks and a hit batsman already for Montaigne, who trails 2-0 in the count. And Ventier, the freshman, will take the slow trot out to the mound to have a conversation with his wing. Creeping up on the 40 pitch count already is Montaigne in his second inning of work. And 2 outs and a runner on third base for the Express. As Montaigne gives the nod, comes set, peers over to third base. Now comes home with the 2-0, breaking ball low and away. And 3-0. You got Odom and James on deck and in the hole as well. As Max looking to give the Express the lead. 3-0, swinging, gets the green light. Fastball into right field, shallow. It's the second baseman, Menachino, drifting out behind the first base bag. Makes the play to retire the side. One runner left. One comes across on the wild pitch. 2-2. We're all knotted up heading to the third on the AMCC network. The Express tie the ball game up at 2 as Zach Legaretta scores on a wild pitch in the bottom of the second. Now on to the top of the third, even at 2, 3-4-5 due up for the Wildcats as Xander Johnson, the lefty, back out on the mound. First pitch is a fastball up and in to the left-handed hitting Carter Romanski, who was hit by a breaking ball in his first time to the plate and then thrown out trying to make it home on a double. Takes a breaking ball, called strike on the outside corner to make it 0-2. All region last year, according to D3Baseball.com, 0-1. Breaking ball just missed hitting him that time, and it's inside. Romanski hit .372 with 16 RBIs. Also stellar on the pitching side as he takes a fastball upstairs to even it up. Romanski, a 4-year starter over at first base for the Wildcats. The 2-2. Fastball up and in. That was ball 4. So he's reached base both times today on free passes.
Number 19.
As Ethan Walker will step in. With Romanski off of first, Johnson comes home. First pitch fastball upstairs. Walker struck out looking his first time to the plate. Only one hit for both sides. It was a Jacoby James solo homer and a 2 RBI double by Ethan Marone on the Poli side as a breaking ball dropped in there on the outside corner for a called strike. Aside from that, this has been a game that has included 8 total walks and a pair of hit batsmen already, as the 1-1 is looped up the middle for a base hit. Squeaking through just to the left of the shortstop Legaretta. And the second hit of the game for the Wildcats comes thanks to Walker, his first hit of the season. Runners on first and second, no outs for Ethan Walker. For Paul Barber.
Now batting for the Wildcats, number 29, Paul Barber.
Barber struck out swinging his first time to the plate. First pitch. Big swing and a miss on the off speed. In the lefty-righty matchup. Johnson, the southpaw, getting the best of Barber the first time around. As the 0-1 is driven out to deep right field towards the foul pole. Ranging to his right is Valinotti towards the line, and it'll drop foul on the fencing down the right field line. Couple pitchers up and stretching in the Wells bullpen as Johnson's pitch count over 50 now. Threw over 80 in his season debut against Clark Summit. In a jam here with runners on first and second and no outs. Steps off the mound to take a stare over to the second base bag, where Romanski with a lead a little bit too uncomfortable for Johnson, who now comes home with the 0-2. Swing and a miss on the fastball, up and out. Fifth strikeout of the day for Xander Johnson. Second time he struck out Barber. And Ethan Marone up to the plate now. Had that 2 RBI double. With 1 out now, and Marone at the plate. First pitch, fastball upstairs. Marone, who hit .367 last year, had the 2 RBI double his first time to the plate. As the 1-0 from Johnson is nubbed right back to the pitcher. Johnson spins, throws to first. High throw that goes down the first base line all the way towards the foul pole. 1 run home easy in Romanski. Walker gets the wave around third. Getting the stop sign at third is Marone. And on the error by Johnson, 2 runs come across. 4-2. Poley on top. And a runner 90 feet away in Marone. On the 3-base, 2-run error on the pitcher Johnson. So just like that, the errant throw over the first baseman Young's head, rolling all the way down the line to the foul pole, makes it a 2-run lead for the Wildcats, with Ventier in from the right side. First pitch he sees is driven into left field. That'll get down for a base hit. Jumping to Phillips on a few hops and scoring easily is Marone. 3 runs across in the inning. RBI single for Ventier. His first hit at the collegiate level and first RBI. And 5-2, the lead in favor of the Wildcats. With Kurt Johnson in from the right side. And a runner on first. He ropes the first pitch foul. Just a few hops down the right field line. Makes it 0-1. Wells looking to get the offense going. As we mentioned, they've only got 1 hit on the day, which was a solo homer. As the 0-1. Breaking ball inside as Guerrero keeps it in front of him, with Ventier dancing off of first. Here's Johnson's 1-1. Fastball low and in the dirt. Stopped by Izquierdo. As the 2-1. Breaking ball, called strike. Nips the inside corner to make it 2-2. And Johnson looking to escape the jam. Strikeout or a double play is your best friend here as well. 2-2. Fastball rope foul down the right field line and out of play. So stay right there. Johnson now nearing 60 pitches. And the Johnson-Johnson matchup. Xander's pitch. Breaking ball swung on and getting a piece of it barely was Johnson. Just getting some metal to the baseball. Looked like it was going to be strike 3. But waved off and it stays 2-2. Continuing to do a tremendous job of fighting off some tough pitches. As the 2-2. Driven down the right field line. Valinotti drifting towards his right, towards the foul pole. Ranges over to make the play for out number 2. Hard hit ball off the bat of Johnson. But Valinotti tracks it down for out number 2. And Menachino, the freshman, in after he walked his first time to the plate. And the first pitch from Johnson. Breaking ball dropped in there for a called strike. Makes it 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball inside. Getting a piece of it was Menachino towards the ankles. Ricochets off the backstop. And one pitch away from escaping what's been a lengthy inning, where 7 batters have come to the plate, now make it 8, is Johnson. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball skied on the right side of the infield, foul territory. Izquierdo, the catcher, and Young, the first baseman, ranging over towards the dugout, and will bounce on top of the Wells dugout out of play as Menachino stays alive. Oh, 2. Fastball up and out. Runner goes. Throw down to second base from Izquierdo. Not in time. Ventier, RBI single, now steals his first base at the collegiate level on a pitch that was just outside. Johnson, now the 1-2. Skied into shallow left field. It'll stay on the infield, held up for Legarreta, who takes a couple steps back and makes the play to retire the side, but not before. 3 runs come across, an RBI single from Ventier, and a 2 RBI error coming on the pitcher, Johnson, to escape the inning. But 5-2, Poli takes the lead as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Back in the bottom of the third with 2-3-4 due up for the Express. And the first pitch from Montaigne to Zach Odom is fouled down the right field line and out of play. 5-2. SUNY Polytechnic on top of the Express after 3 runs came across the top of the frame on a 2-base error on the pitcher Johnson, as well as an RBI single from Ventier. As the 0-1 to Odom, fastball called strike on the outside corner. Makes it 0-2. Odom with a ground out to shortstop his last time to the plate. Back in the first inning as the 0-2 fastball swung on and fouled back. As Montaigne went with the elevated fastball on the inside part of the plate, gets Odom to chase, but he gets a piece of it to stay alive. 3 strikeouts, 2 runs allowed for Montaigne so far. As the 0-2 swing and a miss got Odom to chase in the breaking ball. Make it 4 strikeouts on the day for Montaigne. And the red-hot Jacoby James comes to the plate. James with his solo homer back in the first inning on what was a lengthy at-bat. Sat back on the curveball 3-2 and roped it over the left field wall. Takes a called strike on the outside corner first pitch. As the 0-1 gets tied up on the fastball inside, doesn't go around as he dips out of the way, narrowly avoiding the hit by pitch to make it 1-1. Here's the pitch. Fastball called strike at the bottom of the zone to make it 1-2. Montaigne dealing early on in this third inning. 4-pitch strikeout to Zach Odom. And now leading 1-2 in the count for James. Here's the pitch. Fastball low and away. To even it up now to the reigning player of the week in the AMCC. James currently hitting .529 in 5 games in this season as the 2-2. Chopped on the left side of the infield. It'll be the third baseman, Pelton. Charges, throws across the diamond. High throw. Brings the first baseman, Romanski, off the bag. He hits a leap to make the play, but comes down just in time to tap on the base for out number 2. Wells' dugout doesn't love the call. Looked like a close play as to whether Romanski came down with it in time ahead of James, but the call stands with 2 outs. And Aaron Izquierdo in from the right-handed batter's box. First pitch, he sees fastball outside. Izquierdo, a 2-out walk in his first time to the plate. Izquierdo already with 4 walks on the season as the 1-0. Fastball in there for a called strike. Catches the inside corner. 6 hits already on the season in 4 games for Izquierdo, including the home run versus Elmira College last Friday. 1-1. Breaking ball. Swing at a high fly ball to shallow center. Ranging a few steps in is Johnson to make the play and retire the side. A 1-2-3 inning for Jack Montaigne. The first 1-2-3 inning in this ball game as we head to the 4th. 5-2, Poly on top. Back in the top of the fourth following a 1-2-3 inning on the mound for Jack Montaigne. 5-2, Poli on top over the Express as Parker Wing digs in from the right side. Xander Johnson back out onto the mound for the Express. First pitch, fastball just outside for a ball to make it 1-0 on Wing. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Also walked and came around to score in the first inning as the 1-0 fastball just upstairs makes it 2-0 on Wing. The grad transfer from Cazenovia. Here's the 2-0 from Johnson. Breaking ball low and away makes it 3-0. Already 5 walks and a hit batsman in this game allowed by Johnson. Some throwing in the Wells bullpen down the right field line as fastball outside and a 4-pitch walk to Wing. And looks like that will be it for Xander Johnson. Ryan Stevens makes the walks to the mound, grabs the baseball from him, and we'll see a new arm coming on for the Express, who trail 5-2. The new pitcher for the Express is Zach Cronk, the junior from Newfield, New York, with 2 1/3 innings of work this season, yet to allow a run. He's only allowed 2 hits as Ryan Pelton, the 2-man, steps in with a runner on first and no outs. First pitch breaking ball is low and away after Parker Wing reached on a 4-pitch walk by Xander Johnson to end Johnson's night. As the 1-0 is laced out to deep left field. Diving down the left field line is Phillips to make the play, ranging towards the foul pole. What a play by Phillips. Got on his horse and prevented extra bases, likely runs in addition to that. Great play by Phillips for the first out. And a star next to that one as Carter Romanski digs in. First, a pickoff attempt, looking for Wing over at first. He's back with a dive. Now another one, back easily again. For Cronk, the innings and a third coming against Elmira and Clark Summit on the season. As fastball outside makes it 1-0 on Carter Romanski, who's walked and been hit by a pitch in this game. 1-0, breaking ball in the dirt, make it 2-0. Runner goes, throw down to second base by Izquierdo, skips into center field. Odom's there to prevent anything else from uncorking, but a stolen base for Wing, his first as a member of the Wildcats. And the 2-0. Sits back on the breaking ball, skies it behind home plate. Izquierdo takes a few steps back towards the fence and can't make the play. In gray skies, tough conditions to see that ball, and the foul ball popped up just behind home plate. Tough play for Izquierdo, can't come away with it. And the 2-1. Slider inside, almost hit him. Now goes 3-1. Kronk pitched in 15 games last season. Pitched in 16 as a freshman, starting 7 for the Express. As the 3-1 is lashed out to deep left field and foul into the parking lot down the left field line. And it's 3-2. Kronk comes set, comes home. 3-2 breaking ball is low. Rather, that'll make it 3-2. With one out, the full count to Romanski. Comes home. That one is lashed into left center field, and that'll get down for a base hit. Rolling all the way to the wall, splitting between Odom and Valinotti. Rounding third, home easily is Wing. He scores. In at second base, standing up is Carter Romanski with the RBI double to make it 6-3. SUNY Poli, 6-2, excuse me. Now on top, extending the lead, and Carter Romanski gets his first hit and RBI of the season. Second run scored for Wing in this game. And Ethan Walker steps up, drives the first pitch he sees into deep right field. Valinotti arranging back in front of the warning track, makes the play. Romanski tagging second to third. He'll get there easily. And a runner 90 feet away now with 2 outs. To bring up Paul Barber, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of punch-outs, both coming against Xander Johnson, who is responsible for that run. Takes that one low and away on the breaking ball. Makes it 1-1. Barber hit .302 last season as a junior for Poli, as he skies that one. Shallow right field. Valinotti coming in. Odom coming out. And Valinotti will make the play to retire the side. Snags that one in shallow right field to end the inning, but not before one more run comes across on the RBI double by Carter Romanski, scoring Parker Wing. 6-2. Poli on top as we head to the bottom of the fourth. One more run across for SUNY Poly in the fourth on the RBI double from Carter Romanski. They lead 6-2. And now on to the bottom of the fourth with 5, 6, 7 due up for the Express. Starting off with Lance Phillips 0 for 1 on the day is Jack Montaigne back out for his fourth inning of work. And the first pitch in the righty-righty matchup is a fastball just low for a ball. Montaigne with 4 strikeouts on the day to a pair of walks. Had a 1-2-3 inning in the third. Looking to keep the momentum rolling here for the Wildcats as the 1-0 slider outside makes it 2-0, bouncing in the left-handed batter's box. The Express only with 1 hit on the day, which came in the form of the solo homer back in the first inning off the bat of Jacoby James. Here's the 2-0. Fastball at the top of the zone is skied down the left field line, foul territory, ranging out, making a play is the shortstop. Wing in shallow left field, right on top of the foul line essentially. Falling to the ground, and as he was drifting backwards on an over-the-shoulder catch for out number 1. Put a star next to that one as Zach Legoretta digs in. Legoretta was hit by a pitch in the second, made it all the way to third on an error, and then scored on a wild pitch. He fouls the first pitch off to make it 0-1. Here comes the 0-1 offering from Montaigne. Fastball called strike on the outside corner. It's 0-2. Montaigne retiring 5 straight as the slider outside makes it 1-2. 6 straight, rather. Legoretta looking to change that. He is a tough man to strike out, though, as we've talked about. Excellent plate discipline for Legoretta as the 1-2 strikes out there. Waves and misses at the breaking ball. Second out of the inning. And 6 straight retired by Montaigne as Zach Young will step up. It's the 5th strikeout for the sophomore from Canajoharie, New York. First pitch to Young is a fastball away to make it 1-0. Young struck out his sole time to the plate so far today. The sophomore playing first base today for the Express as Montaigne comes set, comes home, fastball inside to make it 2-0. We have 2 outs. The 2-0 fastball called strike on the outside corner. Young, the native of Binghamton, New York, takes a fastball just outside to make it 3-1. Montaigne has walked 2 and hit a batter so far in this ball game. Aside from that, and aside from the home run, he's been excellent. Breaking ball away, make it his 3rd walk of the day as the streak of 6 straight retired collapses, and John Valinotti will dig in. Young reaching base for the first time today via the walk. And a 2-out base runner for Valinotti, who walked in his sole time to the dish. Here's the first pitch. High fly ball, foul behind home plate. And out of play to make it 0-1. Valinotti playing in 3 games so far this season for the Express. 4 for 9 with a pair of RBIs. As Montaigne comes set, the 0-1 comes home and getting twisted around. Weak wobbler to first base, throwing across the diamond is the third baseman Pelton in time to retire the side. A 2-out base runner, 1 stranded on the walk. Aside from that, nothing working for the Express as we head to the 5th on AMCC TV. First pitch, a called strike on the outside corner. Zach Kronk back out onto the mound for the Express, facing 4-5-6, starting with Paul Barber, who lines the first pitch on a hop to the third baseman, James, who picks it up and throws across the diamond in time. Nice play by James, who's made a couple of web gems so far this season early on for out number 1 here in the top of the 5th. SUNY Poly with a 6-2 lead. Now with 1 out in the top of the 5th. And Ethan Marone digging in, who's got 4 RBIs in the day. First pitch, called strike on the outside corner. Marone 1 for 3, reaching on an error his last time to the plate. Didn't get technically credited with the RBIs, but 2 runs came across as an error was made on the play by the pitcher Xander Johnson, whose book is now closed. We'll give that to you in a moment. There's the 1-0 slider outside. Final line on Xander Johnson, 3 innings, 3 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned on 6 walks and 5 punch-outs. As the 2-0 ties up Marone. Did indeed go around on the breaking ball to make it 2-1. As Kronk comes home with the breaking ball. That one swung on and missed for strike 3. First strikeout for Kronk in relief. And a quick 2 outs here in the 5th. So Kurt Johnson will step in. First pitch grounded to the shortstop Legarreta. Throws across the diamond. Errant throw that takes the first baseman Young off the bag. Hustling down the line was Johnson. So an infield single in all likelihood that will go as. Looked like it was going to be a close play over at first. It'll be an error on the shortstop Legarreta with the throw. Still only 4 hits in this ball game for the Wildcats. As a fastball gets the heart of the plate for a called strike. As Kronk comes set, takes a peek over to first base, and the pitch grounded to the shortstop and Legarreta, who flips his second for the easy out, and in time to get Johnson and retire the side. An error and 1 stranded. Aside from that, nothing working for the Wildcats. 6-2 as we head to the bottom of the 5th. back in the bottom of the 5th inning. SUNY Poly on top, 6-2, with Cam Heyman, the 9-hitter, then the top of the order due up for the Express. Heyman in from the left side against Jack Bontaine, who has been spectacular on the mound for the Wildcats early on. First pitch to Heyman is an off-speed on the outside corner to a called strike against the lefty. Montaigne, 4 innings, 2 earned runs, 5 strikeouts so far in this game. Only 1 hit allowed, as that one is blooped foul towards the third base side over the netting by the would-be Wildcats on deck circle. Only 1 hit for the Express, which came in the first inning to the third batter of this game, Jacoby James with the solo homer. As Heyman's 0-2, fastball swung on and missed for strike 3. Heyman goes down on strikes for the second time today. That's the 6th strikeout by Jack Montaigne. And that brings us to the top of the order at Max Odom. He's 0-2.
Yeah. Yeah.
First pitch to Odom is skied out to deep left field. Marone going back towards the warning track. He's going to look up. That's all he can do. Bye-bye baseball. Max Odom with the solo homer to cut the deficit to 6-3. First of the young season for Odom. Second hit of the day for the Express. They've both been the long ball. And a strong start to the year for Max Odom continues. And that brings up his twin brother in Zach Odom after Max with his first home run of the season, as he chops this one up the middle. It'll be the second baseman, Mendocino, backhands, throws on to first, and just in time, a nice-looking play for out number 2, Max led the team last year with 4 homers and only took a couple games to get back in the home run category, as the head coach of the Wildcats is going to take a walk out to the mound to meet with his infield, including his arm. Paul Ludden, in his second year at the helm of Poly, meeting with the infield, meeting with Montaigne. And staying in this ball game is Montaigne. With 2 outs, he'll face James, who had the solo homer, as we mentioned, back in the first. First pitch to James. Breaking ball just upstairs. Makes it 1-0. James, check swing. Didn't go around, doesn't matter. It's a called strike on the fastball on the inside corner to make it 1-1. James from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, bringing a high school teammate of his to Wells in Aurora with him as well. As a fastball low for a ball. A.J. Campy, the freshman, coming from the same high school as well in Florida. He's a freshman this year, as this one is skied into deep center field. Going back and unable to make the play is Johnson. That'll roll all the way to the wall and bounce off. James around first and in at second base, standing up with a stand-up double. And what a campaign it has been for Jacoby James to start off the year. Now 2 for 3 on the day with a pair of extra bases, including the double and the homer. Extends the inning and brings up Aaron Izquierdo. James is now 11 for 20. Over 500 to start off his season with 8 RBIs. As Izquierdo in from the right side, he's 0 for 1 with a walk and a fly out to center. 2-1. First pitch to Izquierdo is a fastball upstairs. Montaigne over 75 pitches now on the day. As he comes set, peers over to second base and comes home with the 1-0, fastball just outside. So it goes 2-0 on Izquierdo, who's got a patient eye at the plate. Express entered this inning with only 1 hit on the day. They've now got 3. All have been extra bases. With James off of second. The 2-0 to Izquierdo. First, a pickoff attempt. It's a throw back over to second. And the shortstop Wing, who was closer to the shortstop position than he was covering the bag. As Montaigne comes set. Comes home the 2-0. Fastball called strike. Over the heart of the dish. Makes it 2-1. Here's the 2-1 from Montaigne. Dribbler right back to the mound. Off the mound to the left. Makes the throw in time. Nice play by Montaigne to pick up the ground ball and get out of the inning, but not before. The solo homer from Max Odom makes it a 6-3 game. Wells down by 3 as we head to the 6th. Back in the top of the 6th, 0-2 the count on Parker Wing, who skies this one into deep left field. Phillips going back in front of the warning track. Ranges back to make the play for out number 1 to bring up Ryan Pelton. Pelton 0 for 2 was robbed of a hit in left field by Phillips his last time to the plate. Big swing and a miss on the first pitch, breaking ball from Zach Kronk. Kronk has been stellar in 2.1 innings of relief with no runs allowed, 1 strikeout. As this one chopped foul down the left field line. Kronk only allowing 1 hit so far. As the 1-2 to Pelton. He's dribbled towards the right side of the infield and foul. Towards the Wells dugout on the first base side. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball swung on and missed for strike 3. Pelton goes down swinging. Second strikeout in relief for Zach Kronk. And a quick 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. But Ryan Stevens will head out to the mound and take the ball. That'll be all she wrote. Final line for Kronk, 2 2/3, 1 hit, no runs, and a pair of strikeouts. We'll see who the new pitcher is when we come back. 6-3 the score in the top of the 6th. The new pitcher for the Express is Ryan Weiser, the southpaw from Dryden, New York, making his first appearance of this season. And it's Carter Romansky with nobody on. First pitch called, strike on the fastball. And what a performance it was on the mound for Zach Kronk in relief. 2 2/3 innings, pair of strikeouts, no runs, 1 hit. Absolute dominance as the 0-1 breaking ball outside to Romansky knocks it up at 1-1. And it's been a great start to the season for Zach Kronk on the mound, who's been stellar in his first 3 outings of the year. That breaking ball just missed on the outside corner to make it 2-1. 4 1/3 on the season in relief in 3 total appearances for Kronk, and he's yet to allow a run. Only 2 hits allowed, as that one a fastball inside makes it 3-1 to Romansky, who had the RBI double back in the 4th. 6-3. Polly leading Wells in the top of the 6th with 2 outs and a fastball upstairs. It's a 5-pitch walk to Romanski. Second time Romanski has reached on a walk this season. And that brings up Ethan Walker. First pitch ball to Walker, who had a single back in the 3rd. He's 0 for 3 on the day. The junior DH today. As Weiser looks in, gives the nod, comes home, and the 1-0 breaking ball just outside. 2-1 now. And here it is from Weiser. Breaking ball, grounded up the middle. Backhand to second base. Glove flipping a beauty by Odom to Legarreta, who taps on the bag the easy way to get the force out and end the inning. 1 runner left on base after the 2-out walk. Nothing else working for the Wildcats. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. 6-3, Poly leads. Back in the bottom of the 6th, SUNY Poly on top 6-3 over the Express. And the new pitcher for the Wildcats is Andrew Soule, the left-handed freshman from Millborough, Massachusetts, making his first career collegiate appearance. First pitch to Izquierdo. Catches the outside corner for a called strike. Soule playing in his first college game as it's opening day for the Wildcats. First pitch to Izquierdo for the 1-0 to 1-0-1, to Izquierdo in the dirt to make it 1-1. Izquierdo 0 for 1 with a fly out to center field and a walk. As that one is ripped into shallow left field. Coming on and making the play is the left fielder Marone. Rather, that was Phillips on the line out to left field. And now Zach Legarreta will come to the plate. Final line on Jack Montaigne. He was spectacular. 5 innings, 3 runs, 3 hits with 6 strikeouts. Breaking ball dropped in there for a called strike to Legarreta to make it 0-1. Legarreta was hit by a pitch and came all the way around to score in the second. Aside from that, the other 2 runs for Wells have been on the long ball as Legarreta waves and misses at the fastball at the top of the zone. Now 0-2. Soul kicks and fires. Off speed. Called strike on the inside corner. First collegiate strikeout for Soul comes in the form of a backwards K to Legarreta. Second time Legarreta has been sent down on strikes today. And a quick 2 outs in Soul's collegiate debut. Zach Young steps in. First pitch to Young is driven out to deep right field. Barber going back, ranging towards the warning track, the wall. It's going to one-hop the wall. Young with a wide turn around second. He'll stay right there with a 2-out stand-up double going the other way into the right center field gap. And that'll bring Valinoti to the plate with the tying run on deck here in the bottom of the 6th of a 7-inning game in Game 1 of the doubleheader between Wells and the Wildcats. Valinoti a walk and a ground out on the day. Playing in his 4th game of the season. First pitch he sees, grounded through the left side of the infield for a base hit. Squeaking through the 6-hole, but too weakly hit for anything else to happen as Young held up at third base. Runners on the corners for Cam Heyman. And what a time it would be for his first hit with the Express. First collegiate hit for that matter. And looks like we're going to have a sub on the bases as Chris McLean will come in to run for Valinoti on first base.
Yep, 36.
As a pinch runner.
The pinch runner for Wells.
Heyman will still be the batter.
Chris McLean.
Now 5 hits on the day for the Express. More hits than the Wildcats. 4 hits for Pauly. 5 for the Express after the single from Valinoti. But a big number comes in the walks category, as 7 walks have been allowed by Express pitching in addition to a hit by pitch, whole lot of free passes, as Heyman into the lefty batter's box for the lefty-lefty matchup with runners on the corners and 2 outs. He represents the game-tying run. 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts of the day. First pitch he sees off speed on the outside corner for a called strike. A pair of swinging strikeouts in the second and the 4th for Heyman, who lines this one down the right field line and he'll shoot foul. A few bounces to the right of the chalk. And it's 0-2. 1 strike away from getting out of the jam after back-to-back 2-out hits is Soul. Here it is. Breaking ball in the dirt. Runners off. And McLean up at second base without even a look. So 2 runners in scoring position. As Soul comes set. Comes home. 2-2. Called. Strike 3 on the outside corner. dropped the breaking ball in there. And Heyman, his third strikeout of the day. Wells down by 3. It's 6-3 as we head to the top of the 7th. One more inning of baseball in Game 1 of this doubleheader right here on AMCC TV. First pitch, a foul tip off of the backstop. And the count goes 0-1 on Paul Barber to lead us off in the top of the 7th as Weiser back out on the mound. And the breaking ball low and in makes it 1-1. Barber 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts on the day. As Weiser kicks and fires. Fastball away that time makes it 2-1. And nothing but dominance in relief for the Wells pitching staff so far, as Cronk and Weiser have combined for 3 shutout innings, allowing only 1 hit. Another ball makes it 3-1. After Xander Johnson did have 5 strikeouts over 3 innings of work, only blemish was the 6 walks allowed. Now 6-3. 3-1. Swing and a miss on the off speed from Weiser. Works the count full. Two of the 3 runs for the Express coming via the long ball. There's the 3-2. Getting a piece on it is Barber. Fouls it off the backstop. And will stay right there. Weiser in his first appearance of the season comes home with the 3-2. Gets a swing and a miss on the breaking ball in the dirt. Barber goes chasing. And that's the first strikeout of the season for Weiser. Now 1 out. And Wells will have 3 outs in the bottom of this 7th to make some noise and look to tie up this game or more. First pitch fouled off by Marone, as it's game 1 of the doubleheader, so a 7-inning game. It's only 3 outs remain for the Express on the offensive side, as the 0-1 is chopped on the left side of the infield to James. The third baseman picks it up, throws across the diamond on a couple of dribbles. It's picked off the turf by Young for out number 2. And Anthony Ventier will step up. 1 for 2, had the RBI single back in the 3rd, which represented the final runs as of now for the Wildcats. They've been shut out since then by the Wells bullpen. Off speed dropped in there for a called strike, makes it 0-1. Ventier from Farmingdale, New York, doing the catching duties today. Make it 0-2. And one strikeout away from a 1-2-3 inning. Would be the first 1-2-3 by the Wells pitching staff today. Is Weiser. Here it is. Breaking ball inside. Skips away from Izquierdo. Doesn't matter. Nobody on base. And it's 1-2. Eight total strikeouts by the Wells pitching staff today. As the ball makes it even at 2. Strong pitching performances all around in this one. As the 2-2. Fastball just up and out. Great at-bat by Ventier, working the count full. And the payoff pitch coming here with 2 outs. Base is empty. Wells down by 3 in the top of the 7th. And it's an off-speed away for ball 4. Another great at-bat worked by Ventier. Second walk of the day, on base for the 3rd time today. And Kurt Johnson will step up, the freshman, looking to make it on base for the first time in his collegiate career. Had a sac bunt, pair of ground balls. First pitch, fastball up and out. As Weiser peers over at first, comes home, and fouls the 1-0 back to make it 1-1. Talked about it earlier, but 3 freshmen and 5 total underclassmen in this lineup for a very young Pauley team. The bottom 3 in the lineup, all freshmen. As a pickoff attempt over at first, and another errant throw. That's going to get over the head of the first baseman, Young. Roll all the way down the line, and Ventier will make it all the way into third base sliding. Going first to third on the error. We saw that on the other side with Legarreta taking 2 bases on an errant pickoff attempt, but that time it goes against the Express. And Ventier showing off the wheels, going all the way to third base. After Valinoti did a pretty nice job of picking it up and throwing it all the way to third, a dime to James from the right field corner, excuse me. Now running 90 feet away in a 1-1. Breaking ball in the dirt, blocked by Izquierdo. To make it 2-1. And the importance of this at-bat elevated. Here's the 2-1. Off speed outside, make it 3-1. Some command issues have struck Weiser after a quick first 2 outs. 3-1. He is lifted into right field, down the line. McLean ranging towards the foul pole, makes the play to retire the side. A nice play in foul ground just to the right of the pole by McLean, who just took over for Valinoti in right field, and that ends the inning. 1 runner left on base after the 2-out walk. It's 6-3. Wells will need 3 to tie, 4 to win it, and walk it off in the bottom of the 7th with a new arm coming out on the mound for the Wildcats. back in the bottom of the 7th inning. SUNY Poly on top 6-3 over the Express. And this is a 7-inning game in game 1 of the doubleheader between the Express and Wildcats. So Wells will need 3 to tie and send us to extras, or 4 to walk it off and win. And a new pitcher on the mound for the Wildcats, looking to notch down the save. That's Alex Quigg, the right-handed senior from Brewerton, New York. He's got 14 career appearances, including 8 last year with the Express, and a career 6 ERA, as he'll face the top of the order in Max Odom, who laces the first pitch he sees down the left field line and just foul. Couple feet to the left of the chalk. 20, 30 feet in front of the foul pole. Easy extra bases, but just foul. And in front of the first pitch by the right-hander Quigg. And it's 0-1. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's a breaking ball inside. Odom dances out of the way of the curveball. And it's 1-1. Odom with the solo homer back in the 5th inning. One of 2 long balls in the day for the Express as he fouls the 1-1 fastball at the top of the zone behind home plate and out of play. The solo homers by James and Odom, representing 2 of the 3 runs for the Express today. Here's the 1-2. Hit sharply down the left field line and foul. Skipping just to the left of the third base bag in front of the coach's box. And it stays right there. Other run occurred when Zach Legaretta was hit by a pitch in the 2nd. Made it to 3rd on an error and then came home on a wild pitch. As the 1-2 is skied on the infield behind home plate. It's going to be the catcher, Ventier, ranging towards the backstop and makes the play. Behind home plate for out number 1. Odom is retired. And Zach Odom will dig in. He's hitless on the day. Five hits for the Express, highlighted by a pair from Jacoby James, who's in the on-deck circle. Check swing, didn't go around. And it's 1-0 on Zach, who entered today hitting .500. Another ball makes it 2-0 quickly on Zach Odom, with the red-hot Jacoby James waiting on deck. Here's the 2-0. Big swing and a miss on the fastball. Challenged him over to the heart of the plate. And that time, Quigg wins the battle. 2-1. Here's the offering. Breaking ball inside. Almost hit him again. Almost hit his ankle. But Odom dips out of the way. And it's 3-1. Fastball, called strike on the outside corner. Quigg gets the call, and it's full. After James, it's Izquierdo, who could potentially represent the game-tying run. First to 3-2. High fly ball on the infield, just in front of the pitcher's mound. 3 players converging and making the play. It'll be the third baseman, Pelton, who ranges over just to the right of the mound for the second out. And the Wildcats 1 out away from securing a Game 1 victory in the 3-game series in the doubleheader. Second game coming up right after this. And then Game 3 of the series at noon, first pitch tomorrow. As Quigg comes set, comes home. First pitch to James. Fastball inside. James with a double in the 5th and the solo homer back in the 1st. 1-0. Runs inside. Make it 2-0. Pair of fastballs coming to James. Reigning player of the week in the AMCC, with 7 RBIs over his last 4 games. 2-0. Fastball inside again. It's 3-0. Everything on the inside part of the plate with 2 up towards the hands. to the Florida native. Here's the 3-0. Breaking ball low, ball 4. After 2 quick infield fly balls by Quigg, you walk James, which isn't the worst thing in the world, to get to Izquierdo, who's 0 for 2 on the day. Izquierdo with the solo homer against Elmira last Friday, as we mentioned. First pitch to Izquierdo.